video is going to be meant for YouTube. Haven't posted nothing about this round column mill for quite some time. It's just been working, doing what it's supposed to do. But you always do upgrades and such, and along the way, and got my Christmas bonus, so I wanted to. I have another machine that I'll get to in a minute that I'll eventually. What'll happen here is the NEMA 23s, steppers, open loop, 570 ounces of torque on the X and Y. They do fine. They do great. But I just wanted something a little bit better and different, I guess, to make this more of a workhorse. I mean, it already has done a ton of work. But it's kind of funny because when I did the thinking on the upgrade, so as I'm dealing with the drives and certain micro stepping, dip switches, motor tuning and such in the software, I've learned quite a bit over what I already I didn't really know a lot, but I thought I knew a fair amount, you know what I mean? So kind of what it amounts to is it's always continuous improvement on this stuff. So I think this video might get a little longer than I anticipated, which I don't really like, but it is what it is. But so all that being said, I know now that I had these motors tuned wrong on the drives as per the dip switches. So that being said, I think that I could have done some more tuning, but then again, I wouldn't have learned what I've learned. So essentially what's going to happen is these motors here, they're 23 pattern. I will take these off, put them on the latest machine that I'm working on, and I'm stepping up to a 34 pattern motor, which if you're into this trade, you know that's a pretty big step. I see a lot of guys do stuff that's kind of like standard issue. They throw a 34 on there, but I mean, them things there's a lot of power in those things. So to be able to do this for myself is pretty cool. But I've got these set up for 23s at the right now. Can't talk. So essentially I'm trying to make it easy, because I have some stuff that I need to do at the mill, which really sucks, because I was in a pinch, and I know basically what it amounts to is I'm adapting. I'm not going to change a lot of stuff. I'm going to take I machined these a couple years. It's been a few years ago now, but the bearing plates and stuff that I need to do, and the plates, machined all that stuff. But I was in a pinch. Mill was down. I mean, I had this machine over here, and it does well. I probably could have done them on that machine, actually. But I was in a pinch, got on eBay, and I thought, I'm going to grab these brackets to keep the 23 bolt pattern. And just bolt them up, and then I'll have the foot pattern for my 34s. On the X will be easy, but on the Y I'll have to extend that out like 4 inches in a sense, because that comes out, the table comes out quite a bit, and I'll have to clear that. When I was on the 23s, it didn't matter because it was under the table there. Um, and it's just at the mercy, basically, to utilize what I bought and then to take these two motors and transfer motor to the next project. But when I got I got them in the mail, I was like, "Are you serious?" I mean, yeah, it's pretty cool, but I'm like, man, I could have machined them right in house, cost me nothing. I won't disclose what these cost, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Um, yeah, I could have done that on the router. This one over here that I added coolant to. I could have done that over there. You can see all the aluminum chips. So, that in itself, I was a little disappointed. It is what it is. I was in a pinch. I just did it. Whatever. So, but what I'm stepping up to, as you can see, we got these new drives, the 34 pattern, with the encoder. That's quite a step up. They'll both have cooling fans on the drive. The only thing that I don't know at this moment, I think that it's an RS-232. Basically, there's a controller. I think that I have to put parameters in. They come with, I think, parameters already loaded, but the seller won't get back to me and verify that I need to upload, different parameters via either software and the necessary cables, or there's a little box that you can buy. I forget what it's called. Just learned about that today too. Yeah, this is a pretty stout little motor. I mean, I'm going from, like I said, I had the thing tuned wrong. So in theory, I'm looking at some of these guys, like Haas Machine on YouTube. He had 23s running that 704 Grizzly and getting 300 some inches a minute on the X and Y, even with the table on there, with the weight on there. So with a 23 motor, so that tells me that I had a lot to learn, I guess. My thought was that I had to step up to this, but in actuality, it was just lack of knowledge, I guess. But I couldn't complain because these things, I stumbled upon them with the drive and this motor. I mean, I won't disclose what I got it for, but it was pretty freaking cheap. That's an extensive amount of motor to pass up for that, and they were going quickly. And the guy relisted two more so I could get the extra, because I bought one thinking I'll get the one next week. Well, then they all disappeared inside of like a day. I'm talking like 10 of them. So he relisted a couple, and I clicked buy it now and got the other one. Yeah, that was pretty cool. So, but essentially what's going to happen, these are, like I said, those were 570 inches, or there's a rating how they rate the holding torque on these things, but those are 570. These are like 1700. So I mean, it's huge increase. But the machine that the old mill parts are essentially going to go on is this machine here, and like I said, it looks pretty crude. Lots of stuff from work that had been thrown away. Did get permission for that. Been a while ago, so but I've got some of the old drives in here. Breakout board. There's a lower level VFD for the spindle. It's a liquid cooled spindle. This machine's kind of been ongoing for a while, but pretty cool. I finally got moving out of it. It's a slow movement, but like I said, I'm learning. I'm learning how to, I guess, get the most out of these things, these stepper motors. and then there's a lot of weight on this Z-axis. There's a slide. Basically started out as an IAI slide, had a ball screw, and then your bearing slides all internally is, it was thrown away. Had the cord cut off of it, so because they have like an internal like little servo, but it has really no power. So I just basically gutted it and used it for the slide aspect of it, and machined a little mount to put. It's like a 270 ounce. I was kind of reluctant that was going to have enough power, and that's another thing. I dug that one out of the trash as well. But I think I'm going to go to this setup here. I soldered that all together, but I thought that this didn't have enough power, but then realized I didn't have it tuned correctly, and then I also realized that on my quick, it looks like a mess right now, but it'll be all tidied up, and there'll be cabinet doors. You won't see it, so it won't matter. I'm the only guy that's going to see it and run it. So, but I had some solder mistakes and couldn't get the thing work, and yeah, I'm not real proud of that, but it's what it is. So I think what's going to happen is I'll probably just tune it out to where it runs that just fine. But I think I'm eventually going to go to this, because this to me seems a little more stout. Has a little less travel. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't really need that much travel, but I have some little, when I get it going, I'm machine a little pocket right here. Long story short, that'll be just a cover that bolts down, and then I'll pull that off, and then there'll be I can put a cylinder head full length up, and then adjust the height accordingly, and bring this over, and it'll be at the level, and then I can machine, if I port a set of cylinder heads or something, and then I can machine my logo on the end of it. So that'd be kind of neat. I've kind of wanted to do that for many years. I think before it's all done, I'll end up achieving that. So, but yeah, that's kind of what I've been working on for a while. But it's getting to the point now to where I need to put this project kind of back in the corner, right back there. It takes up so much frickin' room. I think it's 5x5 foot pattern. And like I said, I'm waiting on drives for the Y-axis. But those two motors that are on the mill that I'm going to pull off and put those 34s on that I showed you, that's what's going right there. And then I'm waiting for another breakout board, because the breakout board, the A-axis, is not working. So I'm just going to put a new breakout board in it to where all axes are working. And then I'll have to do, because I have the XYZ, and then when I have a dual lead screw on the gantry, I'll have to slave an A-axis with it and have the same steps and that sort of. I'd basically have to have them tuned correctly, but it's going to run off of another axis to run the other motor with the drive and all that sort of thing to keep it safe and to keep it. I still have to put machine limit switches in, and yeah, I have a ways to go on it, but I got quite a ways this year. Actually got movement out of it, so that's kind of exciting. That's essentially the reason for the video, is to show that I got her moving. So yeah, pretty neat, really, if you think about it. And then I didn't do the Z yet, but I did the X as far as steps on the dial indicator. Got the steps per inch, so it repeats what it's supposed to now. And if you move 100 thousandths, it moves 100 thousandths. So seems backlash is implemented. I think it had 2 thousandths backlash on the ball screw. So it's kind of slow process, but I think I need to wrap it up. Get some few components here, but wheel it back in the corner, and then because I have some other things to do. But I eventually wanted to put a laser on this, a plasma torch head. I mean, all kinds of crap. But in reality, it just one guy can only do so much. I think. So yeah. Thanks for watching.